I stood there, heart pounding, as the room spun into a blur of laughter and clinking glasses, completely unaware that my world was about to shatter. My boyfriend, Ethan, was turning 25, and I'd spent weeks planning this party to be perfect, down to the fairy lights and his favorite chocolate cake. But perfection is a fragile thing, and mine was about to be smashed by the one person I never saw coming, Lila, Ethan's best female friend, who'd been eyeing me like a hawk since the day we met. I should have known her smile hid something venomous, but I was too busy hiding my own secret to notice. 2 years ago, before Ethan, I'd made a mistake, a reckless, drunken night with a guy named Marcus, who turned out to be married. I didn't know at the time, but the guilt clung to me like damp rot, and I buried it deep, swearing I'd never let it touch my new life with Ethan. He was everything I'd ever wanted, kind, driven, with a laugh that could melt my defenses. We'd been together for a year, and I was certain he was the one. But secrets have a way of clawing their way out, and Lila was the one holding the shovel. It all started 3 months ago when I ran into Marcus at a coffee shop. He looked different, grayer, sadder, and begged to talk. I agreed, mostly out of pity, but also because I wanted closure. We sat in a corner booth, and he told me his marriage had ended, partly because of our night together. His wife had found out, and the fallout was brutal. I felt sick, not just for him, but for the part I'd played. I swore him to silence, and he promised to keep it buried. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. Lila, with her sharp eyes and sharper tongue, had been there that day, tucked in the back of the coffee shop, watching. She didn't confront me then. No, she waited, letting the secret fester like a wound, until Ethan's birthday party, my grand gesture of love, gave her the perfect stage. The night of the party, our apartment was alive with music and chatter. Ethan looked happier than I'd ever seen him, his arm around me as we greeted guests. Lila arrived late, her smile too wide, her eyes glinting with something I couldn't place. I brushed it off, chalking it up to her usual intensity. She'd always been territorial about Ethan, her childhood friend, but I'd convinced myself it was harmless. After all, Ethan loved me, not her, or so I thought. As the night wore on, I noticed Lila whispering to people, her glances darting my way. My stomach twisted, but I pushed it down, focusing on Ethan's laughter and the warmth of his hand in mine. The cake came out, candles flickering, and everyone sang. Ethan made a wish, his eyes locked on mine, and I felt like the luckiest woman alive. Then Lila stood up, glass in hand, and the room fell quiet. "Here's to Ethan," she said, her voice syrupy sweet, "and to secrets, because some people here have plenty to share." My heart stopped. The room tilted. Ethan frowned, confused, as Lila's gaze pinned me like a butterfly to a board. "I saw you." "Sarah," she said, her voice cutting through the silence. "3 months ago, at Brood Awakening, cozying up with a married man." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Ethan's hand slipped from mine. I opened my mouth, but no words came. Lila wasn't done. She told me everything. She said, "How you slept with him, ruined his marriage, and lied to Ethan about it." She turned to Ethan, her eyes softening, fake tears glistening. "I'm sorry, but you deserve to know who she really is." The room was a sea of eyes, all on me. Ethan's face was a storm of emotion, shock, betrayal, anger. "Sarah, is this true?" he asked, his voice low, breaking. I wanted to explain, to tell him it was a mistake, that I'd changed, that I loved him, but the words stuck in my throat, choked by shame. I could only nod, tears streaming down my face. Ethan turned away, and that was worse than any words he could have said. Lila stood there, triumphant, as if she'd won some sick game. The party dissolved into whispers and awkward goodbyes. Ethan left with a friend, not even looking at me. I was alone, surrounded by half-eaten cake and deflated balloons. My secret laid bare for everyone to judge. The days that followed were a blur of pain. Ethan wouldn't answer my calls. I tried texting, explaining, begging, but he was a ghost. Lila, meanwhile, was everywhere posting cryptic quotes about honesty on social media, each one a dagger to my heart. I wanted to hate her, but part of me wondered if she was right. Maybe I didn't deserve Ethan. Maybe my secret made me unworthy of love. But then something shifted. A week after the party, I found a note slipped under my door. It was from Marcus, of all people. He'd heard about the party small towns talk and wanted to set things right. He wrote that Lila had approached him after the coffee shop, digging for dirt. He'd told her about our night, not knowing she'd weaponize it. He was sorry, he said, and he'd told Ethan the truth that I didn't know he was married, that it was a one-time mistake, and that I'd been trying to move on. I didn't know if it would change anything, but it gave me a spark of hope. I tracked Ethan down at his favorite park, where he went to think. He looked tired, his eyes red, but he didn't walk away when he saw me. I poured my heart out about the guilt I'd carried, the fear of losing him, the love that had grown stronger because of it. I told him I'd been wrong to hide it, but I wasn't that person anymore. Ethan listened, his face unreadable. Then he spoke, his voice raw. I trusted you, Sarah. That's what hurts the most. Not the mistake, but the lie. I nodded, tears falling. I know, I'm so sorry. I'll do anything to earn it back. He didn't say anything for a long time. Then he sighed. I need time. Sarah, this doesn't just go away. I left him there, knowing I might have lost him forever. But I also knew I had to face myself. I'd spent so long running from my mistake, letting it define me, that I'd forgotten who I was. I started therapy, digging into the shame that had kept me silent. I reached out to Marcus's ex-wife, apologizing for my part, even if it was unwitting. She didn't forgive me, but she listened, and that was enough. Months passed, and Ethan and I started talking again, slowly, cautiously. He'd confronted Lila, who admitted she'd exaggerated the story to hurt me. Her jealousy had twisted her into someone he didn't recognize. He cut her off, not because of me, but because he couldn't trust her anymore. We're not back together. Not yet. Trust is a fragile thing, and we're rebuilding it brick by brick. But I've learned something through all this secrets. Don't just hurt the ones you keep them from. They eat away at you, too. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to be honest, with Ethan and with myself. And maybe that's the start of something real. So, what do you think? Was Lila right to expose me? Or did she cross a line? Should Ethan forgive me? Or is trust too broken to mend? Share your thoughts. What's right? What's wrong? And where do we go from here? And